Merry Christmas, Titans Nation, or should I say Merry Christmas Eve. We are going to be doing a Christmas special with our usual primetime predictions because these are coming out early on a Tuesday. I know, because we are going to be doing the Christmas game predictions too, just to celebrate Christmas. So, as you know, that I'm going to be uploading a whole lot of videos Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, the primetime predictions of this video, then 2 songs, 2 music videos, and then I'm sending out a Christmas song on Christmas Day. So I've been doing a lot of work for you guys. Anyway, though, let's get on to the video. First game off, we have Chiefs versus Steelers. Now, before this, just want to continue the whole thing about how the Chiefs are frauds, and the Steelers are the way better team, and it's not even close. Now, first of all, Week 1, Chiefs versus Ravens, they were barely able to pull out the win because of one toe from Isaiah Likely after that catch. Also, this wasn't even the same Ravens team. Like, this was the start of the year Ravens, okay? Like, the Chiefs had no business beating the Ravens. This was the start of the year Ravens team, the Ravens team that struggled. For example, this is the team that the start of the Ravens were. Losing to the Raiders and then barely being able to beat the Cowboys. I mean, that's so Derrick Henry was able to run. And then after that, on primetime, they were able to get their stuff together against the Bills. And then that's where they started to become better over time. Then the Chiefs were barely able to beat the Bengals. The Bengals, who are 7-8, however, they've just had a 3-game win streak against 3 bad teams. I mean, Cowboys, Titans, and Giants. Titans and Giants, yes, my Tennessee Titans, I'll admit that those are both the 2 worst teams in the league, and then the Cowboys are, even though they're 7-8, they win when they need to lose and lose when they need to win, so they're probably bottom 7, Cowboys. And the Chiefs shouldn't even won this game. It was off a controversial pass interference call, which I do not think was pass interference. However, alright, let's say we're playing this game where the pass interference call doesn't matter. I'll show you a video. Shout out to the Touchdown with Doug Smith for the video. There it is. Focus right there. I mean, you can, like, right there. Did you see it? I mean, it was a little touch. The slightest touch. Barely anything at all. Okay, so let's say we're doing it, alright? We're playing this game where, like, football's getting more of a fragile sport and you can't really do any pass interference. And watch this. This is literally the definition of pass interference. The only worst pass interference call in NFL history than this was the one in the Rams and Saints. Watch. This guy literally just drags him and literally... That is the definition of a pass interference. Not only that, not only did it take what should have been a touchdown call for the Chiefs to win the game, because the Falcons would have won if they didn't call that. What is this video by Darman? What is that video? Alright, by the way, I will be making a Darman video sometime. Just to be talking about the downfall of Darman, because Darman is like the worst YouTuber of all time. He literally made a video just about promoting murder, which we'll get into that in a later video. Probably before New Year's, so. Shout out to Tom Grossi, alright?
Under center from the 12. Man, look at that line.
I will just show you his reaction just to see. Man, look at that. Right here, right now. You got Bijan Robinson, right? You see that they're all pushing in. What can you do right here? Maybe QB sneak it? I mean, like, there is, like, all the people lined out. So what is this goofy information? Just do something like a simple halfback dive. Get more blockers out. Watch what happens.
Hand off to Bijan, trying to get to the outside. Falcons lose. What a dumbass play. What a dumbass.
Oh, okay. I did not know Grossi was gonna cuss, so gonna censor that out. Anyways, this is like the only video I could get of like the outside play. Seriously. I mean, like, what? If the head coach, Raheem Morris, who was the Rams defensive coordinator, who honestly shouldn't have even got a head coaching job as the Falcons, has seriously been a horrible coach. If he had common sense to actually do something, a simple halfback dive, maybe a QB sneak. No, why would you run on the outside with 4 inches in the game on the line? Then week 4, I'll admit it's probably the best win of the year. Rashee Rice, that torn ACL in this game. Honestly, though, I guess you could say, however, this was just horrible, honestly, by the Chargers. Like, this was easily the worst game they've played. Like, I don't know what it is. They've just gotten brain dead when playing the Chiefs. Like, all of a sudden, they can't score offensive points. Now their defense is suddenly getting exposed. I just don't know what it is, man. I mean, this is easily J.K. Dobbins' worst game of the year. Lad McConkey, I mean, that's a decent game. However, he had better games before. And Justin Herbert, that's one of his worst games of the year. I mean, I guess it's not bad, however, just could have had better. Honestly, yeah. Then week 5, they beat the Saints 26-13, and on paper, that sounds like a dominant team, like for a dominant win for a dominant team. However, no, it is. That's the Saints team that's got blown out by the Buccaneers and the Broncos and the Chargers and even the Panthers, which at that time, the Panthers were the worst team in the league. So, yeah, if you compare to the other teams, like even teams like the Panthers, and then it's really not a dominant win, is it? They beat the 49ers 28-18. Now, versus the 49ers, they ain't the same team as they were. Super Bowl hangover, the injuries, their downfall. Not only to say that, this entire time, Travis Kelce has become like a bottom 10 tight end like this year. Like, their players are getting washed. Chris Jones is getting older, too. Patrick Mahomes is easily at his worst year this season. This is like, honestly, I'll call this right now. The Chiefs' dynasty is ending. Like, seriously, you cannot do what the Patriots did or the Cowboys. Like, that's just not what it's going to be. The Chiefs can't fill those shoes. They can't keep up their team. They barely have any cap space left, too. Like, this is the end. Like, the end is coming. I'm not going to say it's, like, immediately, however. They might be able to squeeze in another good year. Like, not another. They've been really bad this year. Like, maybe a decent year next year and then maybe get, like, in a playoff spot. However, eventually they might start becoming, like, a mediocre team, I could say, in, like, 2 years. Like, I'm being serious. Like, this take could age really well, just like fine wine, or this could age like milk. I mean, Brock Purdy easily had his worst game. 3 interceptions. I mean, literally. And, I mean, Jawan Jennings and even George Kittle himself. This was like a mediocre game for George Kittle, and this was a bad game for Jawan Jennings. Who knows, he might have not even played. This was like one of the worst Niners games of the year, so. I know I'm just sounding like a Chiefs hater, however, I'm not. Look at Patrick Mahomes and Gardner Minshew stats. They've been like playing around the same level this year. It's just Patrick Mahomes has the benefit of the doubt. Barely able to get past the Raiders. I mean, yeah, it's like the Raiders. A bottom 5 team in the league, and you're making the Raiders look absolutely elite. This was like Travis Kelce's best game of the year. I mean, like, sure, if it was for a player like George Kittle, that would be a mediocre game for him. And if it was a player like Brock Bowers, who had probably his worst game of the year against the Chiefs, like, that would be just bad. However, for Travis Kelce, that's like excellent, because Kelce is just falling off and just isn't the same. Then again, this was the Buccaneers. However, this was the Buccaneers at their worst. They just lost Mike Evans and Chris Goodwin. I mean, I know they're able to slowly start getting better after and start getting their game established. However, it took a lot. Because, like, they didn't really know what to do after losing their best 2 receivers after. And the Chiefs just won by a coin toss. Literally. A coin toss. Then the Chiefs beat the Broncos, which at this time, like even the time when they were blowing out the Saints when I talked about them earlier, they were kind of mediocre. They were still like trying to get their whole feelings before they started getting better. I don't know, man. AFC West is just a weird division, man. You don't know who's good. You don't know who's bad. Well, besides the Raiders. We know the Raiders are horrible. It's still. Like, anytime a team could look like Super Bowl contenders in the next game, they could look like, then a few weeks later, they could look like frauds around a mid-season collapse. Like, you never know with that division. Anyways, the Chiefs won by a blocked field goal that was like 35 yards, I'm sure. Wasn't it? Yeah, 35 attempt. I did not read that, actually. I'm really serious. I just memorized that. Anyways, shouldn't have been blocked. Should have easily made it, and the Chiefs definitely should have lost that game. Then this was the Chiefs' loss. That was probably their best game of the year. I think another game I said was their best game of the year. Which one was it? I think it was week 4 or something. No, this was the best game of the year, definitely. Then Chiefs and Panthers. What can I say except the Chiefs had no business winning this game. The Panthers should have won. It was one Patrick Mahomes run that ended up giving the Chiefs field goal position and was able to win the game by a field goal. If it was any other team, let's say hypothetically if it was the Panthers that were in that field goal position, they either would have missed it or would have been blocked. However, since it's the Chiefs, all of a sudden they're able to make the field goal. I don't know. It's just strange. I'm telling you, man, the Chiefs are making the NFL look really obvious of the fact that it's scripted. Like, I'm starting to believe that just because of the Chiefs. You cannot tell me out of 16 whole weeks and 15 whole games that the Chiefs played, every team seems to go brain dead whenever they play them. Then this, literally what I just said about teams going brain dead. Their center, who has been playing football his entire career and is a professional center, all of a sudden just snaps the ball for no reason when no one's ready. How does that happen? That's like me getting a tech job, working at a computer, and then all of a sudden one day I just forget how to turn on a computer. That's just not how life works, man. That's insane. If you do something, you have muscle memory, so you can know how to do it. And if you're doing that as a career, it should be really easy to do it, but no. The Chiefs just get away with so much again. This is a double doink field goal. And of course they had to beat the Chargers, who had, again, one of their worst games of the year against the Chiefs. This was like when the Chargers were on a mid-season collapse. And like after that they got blown out by the Buccaneers. The NFL is just such a weird year, man. The Chiefs were able to beat the Browns just because Jameis Winston had 3 interceptions. Don't know why. Whenever you play the Chiefs defense a defense that is mediocre, all of a sudden, some quarterbacks just start throwing interceptions. It's not like the Chiefs' defense is good or anything, just, I don't know, man. Then it took Tank Dell to tear his ACL, and even more, Tank Dell had a horrible injury. I mean, CJ Stroud's best friend, so, CJ Stroud's really going for it, seeing him get injured. And then not only that, it took a horrible roughing the passer call. We're literally two people. I made a whole video explaining it. That was 2 minutes, explaining just how that was a horrible no roughing the passer call. Literally 2 people hit CJ Stroud after the play. And then no roughing the passer. Just doesn't make sense, man. And then more just bad coaching calls, not going for the field goal when they should have. Eventually went into probably one of the best Chiefs games of the year that they played. Still, a mediocre team could probably win the Texans if so much of that has gone through their favor. However, still, the Chiefs were able to win. And now it brings us to this game where I'm not going to say the Steelers are a really good team because they've kind of had their Chiefs moments too. However, no more going brain dead. No, none of that. Mike Tomlin isn't here to play the whole let's make the Chiefs look good even though they're frauds game. No, Mike Tomlin is not that guy. I know I just went on an entire 17-minute rant on how the Chiefs are frauds. However, all of that has to prove my point. Give me the Steelers Nation beating the Kansas City frauds 28. Actually, 27-10. I would say more. However, I feel like I just have a gut feeling in me, that there's going to be some really bad ref calls that's going to go in the Chiefs' favor. Just something's going to happen. I don't know if it's going to be a crazy double-doink field goal, block field goal that's going to go in the Chiefs' favor. However, I can guarantee you no more coaching going brain dead against the Chiefs. That's not how it works. Mike Tomlin and Andy Reid, the best 2 coaches in the league, not a single one of them are going to be playing games. They're going all out. Steelers 27-10. Next to Texans and Ravens. Of course, give me Ravens. Texans have injuries, all of that stuff. Injuries kind of have been on a mid-season collapse in a way. I mean, they started out their season 5-1, and now they're 9-6. So they have a 4-5 record in the last 9 games they played. So it's still not really the best. Ravens should be able to beat the Texans. Injuries by the Texans and stuff. Give me Ravens pulling it out. I mean, it's not, the Texans have a good defense and all. I mean, it's solid. Disappointing this year, solid. They have the best cornerback in the league in Derek Stingley. So give me Ravens 21. I mean, the Ravens don't really have the best defense either. I see Derrick Henry being able to rush for a lot. So Ravens, how about Ravens 28? The 7 Ravens won. Now, because we have a lot of games for primetime predictions, I just feel like making out a quick video real quick because I have been doing a lot of videos today. Kind of feel like rushing through this, not too much though. Cardinals and Rams, this should be a no-brainer. LA, Cardinals haven't been the same. They go on a few win streaks and losing streaks. Sometimes they're able to show up. However, now that they're eliminated, the Ravens are winning the division and they're not ready to slow down. Give me LA. I'll say 34-17. Now we have Primetime Falcons at Commanders. Two of the best rookies of the year. Two of the top contenders for Offensive Rookie of the Year battling this out. Michael Penix and Jaden Daniels. Personally, I feel like Michael Penix is better than Jaden Daniels. However, it's kind of like 50-50 between the world. Obviously, guys, I'm just kidding. He's only played one game, however, he's kind of became one of the most popular players if you think about it. Like, he's became really, really popular across the world. And he's kind of just became a fan favorite in the world. Anyways, though, the Commanders just beat the Eagles, who I thought were the best team in the league before that game. So I feel like the Commanders are going to keep it rolling. It's going to take 2 Eagles losses, which isn't going to happen because they're playing the Giants, the worst team in the league. 2 Eagles losses, and then 2 Commanders wins, which is going to happen because they're playing the Falcons and the Cowboys. Anyways, this is going to give the Buccaneers again the chance for the NFC South. It's been really competitive in that, like it's been between those teams. Buccaneers are just a lot better. It's just the Falcons have those 2 tiebreakers and they were able to start out their season better. Give me Commanders 35-20. Next up, we have the Injury Bowl with the Lions and 49ers. Give me Detroit. They haven't quite just been the same as they were since they were really good. However, it's just injuries. Both teams have been injured way too much. Personally, I feel like the Niners have had it worse with injuries. However, everyone's just had it bad, man. Give me Detroit. 37-27. Actually, give me Lions 34-24. Anyways, though, that's the end of the video. It's been really fun. And, yeah, see you later. First I just want to say that I'm 5-5. My goal is to get over 500, which I've been trying to do for a long time. I think this is the time I do. Anyways, I'll see you later. Tie Nut Times Nation. Have a wonderful day. God bless you. And always remember that Jesus loves you. Be kind. Don't forget that. And always remember Jesus loves you.